Jaguar Wright is on a killing spree exposing the music industry, and she now has her sights on Mariah Carey. She claims that Mariah sold herself in order to get signed into Sony Music Entertainment back at the beginning of her career. Jaguar recently spilled some major tea on a number of big names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, or Will Smith, but she isn't about to stop here. She revealed that Mariah had knowingly gone and sold her body to gain access to the music industry. Hey, I'm Kat. Welcome back to Rumor Has It.
I think about how she got signed to Sony. It still kind of me up because when you have that much talent and you still got to get your demo tape approved, everybody knows what happened between her and Tommy Mottola in that on the way to her first listening party. They seen her coming up from giving him the back of the shit, and everybody knew. Everybody talked about it.
Jaguar Wright has been on a roll lately, and in one of her latest interviews, she exposes all the dark truths of the music industry. She alleges that although Mariah was a talented young singer, it still wasn't enough, and she had to offer sexual favors to Tommy Mottola in order to get signed. What's more disturbing is that Jaguar also claims that Mariah made Tommy divorce his wife of 19 years so that she could marry him. It's a well-known fact that Mariah Carey ended up getting married to Tommy Mottola after he divorced his then-wife. However, the marriage proved to be a disastrous one, as Mariah stated later on. So is Jaguar Wright making these allegations? Let's take a closer look at the background. To start with, a lot of Mariah's fans suspected that she was groomed by Tommy Mottola because of their 21-year age difference. Carey was 18 years old when she'd first met Mottola, head of Columbia Records at the time, while at a party. After meeting Carey, Mottola wrote in his memoir, Hitmaker, The Man and His Music, that the two of them were flirtatious from the moment he set eyes on her. It had been a controversial revelation, not just because of their age difference, but also because Mottola was married and had 2 children. In 1990, Mottola signed Carey to a music contract and announced his divorce from his then-wife of 19 years, Lisa Clark. 3 years later, Carey and Mottola were married. She was 23, he was 44. However, it's no secret that Mariah's upbringing wasn't an easy one, and could be another reason she rushed into the marriage with Tommy at such a young age, and without much thought. As the youngest child of a former opera singer, she experienced a severe division and subsequent rift in her family as a result of her parents' divorce when she was very young. Young Mariah endured a great deal of conflict with her siblings, in addition to the trauma of her parents' divorce. In an intimate interview with Oprah Winfrey, Carey revealed that her older siblings hated her, with her brother even occasionally resorting to violence. Carey also alleged that her older sister attempted to pimp her out and burn her.
It was healthy for me to see a functional family that kind of looked like mine, but didn't feel like
Mariah
mine.
claims she regret marrying Mottola, and often questioned her decision to be with him. In her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, she wrote that she had a lot of respect for Mottola since he protected her from her dysfunctional family, but she wasn't 100% invested in marrying him. In an interview with Meghan Markle on her podcast Archetypes, Mariah Carey opened up about her marriage to Tommy Mottola, and it brought a lot of dark details about their relationship. My first marriage, I was very much, I was kind of locked away, and I was sort of, given the rules and had to stick with them, she told Markle. According to E! News, Carey told Markle that she felt locked away in her marriage to Mottola, and that getting a divorce from him in 1998 was extremely difficult. Mariah also revealed that she'd paid for a portion of Storybook Mansion, where she and Mottola lived together while they were married. Because of her mother's relationship, she had to move around a lot as a child, so she insisted on paying for the house. We would live with this boyfriend and that boyfriend and whoever and wherever, and they always could say get out of my house. I never wanted that for myself, she told Markle. But people didn't look at it like that, she added. They were like, she's a kept woman. She's this. She's that. It was all about that because the way of thinking at that time was very much like, of course he's doing everything. But I'm like, hi, I'm a songwriter. That's what I do. However, her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, brought to light disturbing facts about her marriage, which begs the question.
He controlled everybody around me. Everybody was afraid of him. There was so much security and armed security. This is not okay. you're Mariah Carey. I thought you could do whatever.
Was it worth it? In her memoir, Mariah talks about how the marriage nearly smothered her to death, and has talked openly about it feeling stifling. Meghan Markle said in her podcast, when talking about Mariah's biography, the singer wrote that she felt Mottola was too overbearing, according to US Weekly. She described him as like humidity, inescapable, adding, "It felt like he was cutting off my circulation, keeping me from my friends and what little family I had. I couldn't talk to anyone that wasn't under Tommy's control. I couldn't go out or do anything with anybody. I couldn't move freely in my own house." What's more, Mariah states that she was imprisoned in her own house, as the home was equipped with armed guards and security cameras. Allegations that he used security cameras to watch over her every move while she was inside her own house, wouldn't let her leave without his permission, and also hired people to spy on her, are among the most upsetting. Carey writes in her memoir, "Every move I made, everywhere I went, I was monitored. Minute by minute, day after day, year after year. I was living my dream, but couldn't leave my house. Lonely and trapped, I was held captive in that relationship. Captivity and control come in many forms, but the goal is always the same: to break down the captive's will, to kill any notion of self-worth, and erase the person's memory of their own soul." However, perhaps the most disturbing moment comes at the end of the marriage. Tommy walked over and picked up the butter knife from the place sitting in front of me. He pressed the flat side of it against my right cheek. Every muscle in my face clenched. My entire body locked in place. My lungs stiffened. Tommy held the knife there. His boys watched and didn't say a word. After what seemed like forever, he slowly dragged the thin, cool strip of metal down my burning face. I was searing with rage from the excruciating humiliation of his terrifying, cowardly performance in my kitchen, in front of my colleagues. That was his last show with me, as the captive audience at Sing Sing. Tommy later on apologized in 2013, admitting in his own memoir that he was controlling and obsessive. Still, he attributed those abuses to being part of her success, and blamed his role as chairman of Sony as the cause. Mariah managed to get out of the nightmare of the life she was living due to her affair with baseball player Derek Jeter of the New York Yankees. Derek and Mariah Carey dated from 1997 to 1998 after meeting at a party and falling in love. Derek and Mariah's relationship began when the singer was still married to Tommy. In an interview with Oprah, Mariah mentioned that Derek was the catalyst to get her out of her abusive marriage and start a new life.
He was a catalyst that helped me get out of that relationship.
Carey revealed that the song My All was also influenced by her relationship with Jeter in an interview with Vulture, confirming a long-held fan theory that The Roof was about the start of her romance with Jeter. The first kiss they shared on the roof of Jeter's apartment building is depicted on the latter. In addition, she thought back on her album Butterfly, which was recorded around the time her marriage ended. The album Butterfly, you know, writing and producing and living in the studio and leaving the past life that I had with my first ex-husband behind, was extremely difficult. Mariah's divorce from Tommy wasn't a pretty one. Tommy started using his power at Sony to sabotage Mariah, and he actually started sending funds towards Jennifer Lopez and her projects to try and overshadow Mariah and her work. Later on, this was seen as the birth of Mariah Carey's and Jennifer Lopez's feud. Mariah left Tommy, but he didn't let her get away easily. He was angry about the divorce and my departure from Sony, and he used all his power and connection to punish me. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Mariah manipulated her way into the music industry, or was she just a victim? Let us know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be up to date with the latest content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.